Hey, what's up, John Sonmez here, and I got a pretty long question here about how I can stop being an introvert slash beta guy. And this is a little bit spasmastic of a question here, but I think there's enough people that have this kind of feeling that it's worth listening to this and hearing what he has to say here. So he says, I'm 27 years old guy from India. I have checked a lot about my personality and found out I am the beta guy, and surely you have guessed that I am single and unmarried. I'm the opposite of alpha guy, who is highly attractive to women, high status, high lifestyle guy, and you can just think the opposite about me. Okay, so you're saying the opposite of the ideal man. I discovered every day that the skills, attitude, confidence, which is truly needed to be alive as a man, is miserably lacking. I have a problem of anxiety, confusion about my career, making critical decisions, zero social, lifestyle status, listening, poor communication skills, and the list is endless. That is why I'm unattractive to all girls. Therefore, I have unsatisfied personal, professional, and family life. I'm feeling so overwhelmed that my life is going to be finished by overcoming all my problems because they are big as too much than others. Not sure about that. I am also feeling that I am die as a single, as I have too much work on myself. And in India, before the age of 25, most of the girls got married, engaged in relationship, and no one is going to remain for me. You are the only hope. Thanks. Okay, so I got to figure out where to start with this. So there's a few things here. I'll say, from a social standpoint in India, I don't know what you're saying is necessarily correct. I assume that there's probably a prevalence of people getting married before 25 and whatnot. So there might be some truth to it, but this is a large world out there, and India is not the only place. Okay, I know plenty of people, believe me, a lot of my friends are from India, have come to the United States or went to different places in the world, and they've had pretty awesome lives. Okay. So let's talk about where to get started here. Okay, so the very thing, here's the thing. So it's good that you've sort of taken a realistic account of yourself and you're not blowing smoke up your ass. But it's bad that you have this negative of a view of yourself, right? You've got some value, okay? Now you may have a lot of areas where you're lacking, okay? But that doesn't, what you need to do is you need to separate your value from the areas that you're lacking, okay? Just having the self-perception of what you want to become and the areas that you're lacking puts you ahead of most guys and most people in life, right? I mean, most people are not self-aware at all. They just blow smoke up their ass and they are just living under an illusion of grandeur, and they're believing things about themselves. Now, I believe that you're believing too much negative about yourself, okay? And doing that is not going to help you, right? So there's this concept, right, that I like to do, which is I like to look at reality objectively and take a realistic assessment of myself. I've got a video on looking in the mirror and facing reality. It's important, right? I want to stand in the mirror naked and I want to see my fat stomach or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I want to see these things. I want to see the truth of it, okay? And I look at reality, and I don't sugarcoat it, but then I choose to have beliefs that are beneficial to me, right? I just recorded a video very similar to this concept, so I'm not going to rehash the whole thing. But even though I can see the reality, I choose to have beliefs that are beneficial to me, that are going to help me, right? Because I'm constructing my own reality, right? See, this is the thing you have to understand. You have the power to construct your own reality, and a large percentage of what your reality is what you believe, and a large percentage of what people believe about you will be what you believe about yourself. This goes into the concept of framing, kind of an NLP concept, neuro-linguistic programming, on building a frame, right? And if you have a very strong frame in interaction, okay, that means that your frame might be the dominant frame, or could be the dominant frame, and then other people will believe your narration, your interpretation of reality. Because here's the deal. Reality doesn't exist by itself, right? At least how we can perceive it. There's a reality out there, but what we perceive comes through our own filters, okay? And so our reality, okay, is a construction. It's our interpretation of the senses that are coming in through our eyes, through our ears, through our mouth, right, through touch, okay? It's our interpretation of it. Because the reality is objective, but our reality that we live in is subjective because it's an interpretation of what we're getting for inputs, okay? And everyone lives through different filters, right? And so you have to realize that, first of all, you have the power to control your reality by controlling your filters and your interpretation of events and how you view things, but you also have the ability to influence others in that way as well. So, yes, okay, you feel like a beta guy. That may be true, okay? And you don't feel like you're the ideal man and you want to become that. Okay, so where do we start with this? Okay, we start with, like I said, looking in the mirror objectively, and here's what I do, okay, if I'm you. I look in the mirror, I honestly make a list of all the things that are wrong with me that I know. Okay, and I've done this before, and I'm not. This is not a jaded thing to do. This is the objective part. Okay, so look, say, am I overweight? Do I need some more muscle? Is my nose too big? Right? Whatever it is that bothers you about yourself. Okay, from physical attributes to, am I too shy? Am I fearful? Do I lack courage? Right? Do I not walk with swagger? Right? Whatever it is, does my sense of humor suck? Right? Can I not hold eye contact with people? Figure it out, okay? Write it all down. Go through the entire list, okay? Critique yourself honestly as possible. Don't give yourself more critique than you need, okay? Don't just beat yourself up for the sake of beating yourself up, but honestly make the list and critique yourself, okay? Now, take that list, okay? And don't go crying in the corner. It's fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at that list and we're going to apply the 80-20 rule. We're going to apply Pareto's law, which says that, 80% of the results will come from 20% of the work or the effort. So I want you to take that list and I'm going to say, okay, which things, if I worked on, what 20% of things, if I worked on, would give me 80% of the results that I want, right? You want to be this alpha, badass playboy Indian guy? All right, fine. You can fucking do it. You really could, right? Anyone can, okay? But what out of your list, what 20% could you work on? Okay, honestly, this is going to give you 80% of the results because you don't have to fix every flaw. You don't have to fix everything. I just hit my step goal by waving my hands. Look at that. That's what happens when you're part Italian. All right, so you see what I'm saying? That's where I would start because a lot of guys come to me and they're trying to fix everything in their life, right? They're like, oh, I'm unattractive. I'm not athletic. I need to lift weights. I need to lose fat. I need to, get a nose job. I need to be more confident. I need to have a better job and make more money and have some status and blah, 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 blah. No, you can't do all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, if you start working on the 20%, that the rest of that list is going to start falling into place. It's going to start clicking automatically. Because think about it, right? And these are just some instances. Don't necessarily follow this. I want you to pick your 20%. But if you start going to the gym and lifting weights and start getting in shape and you get this awesome fucking killer bod, all right? You're looking like a swimsuit model. Is it a guy swimsuit model? Maybe not. Anyway, you're looking like, you're looking awesome, all right? Looking studly, all right? Do you think your confidence is going to go up? Okay, and if your confidence goes up, do you think your social skills are going to go up? Do you think you're going to be easier to talk to people? When you think people are going to like you more, just in general? You're going to have more charisma, right? You're going to start getting positive feedback loops. You're going to feel like you're going to have more self-discipline. Are you going to feel like you're going to be able to accomplish more things because you've done some hard shit in your life? You see what I'm saying? Is it going to affect your career and make you make more money, right? All of these things are connected. So you just got to find a few of the cornerstones, the keystones, that are necessary in order to change your whole life, right? And this is something that I've done in my life, is I didn't work on every single bad thing, but every year I tend to make this list and I tend to come up with what are my biggest flaws and what are the things, and I point out some of those. I'm like, look, if I tweak this fucking little thing, I would gain this huge benefit. So I rank those and I do those and I work on those things. I work on those aspects from a mental perspective, from a physical perspective. I kind of break it down into a spiritual perspective, all of these things, and I find those little points. What can I tweak that's going to give me the biggest result? Okay, so that's really, really important. And then the second part of this is shaping those beliefs so that you are already identifying and changing your nature to have a self-identity with the positive traits. Okay, so let's say that you say that you want to be more confident. Okay, that you lack confidence. Like if you're like, if I could go and I could present myself as more confident, then I could have a huge result from that. That it would affect a lot of areas of my life. So what you need to do is you can be realistic and objective and say, I am not in the past I have not acted very confidently. But you can attach your new identity to be, I am a person who is working actively to build their confidence, and I am confident. Okay? That's what you can work on. Okay? And you can say that. That can be your affirmation. If you have to say it in the mirror 10 times every day with emotion, go for it. If you can just believe that and repeat that in your head, right, then go for it. Okay? And here's the other piece. All right? I'll give you one more piece here. I mean, we could talk about this all day, but here's the thing, is also you need to brine in the right kind of pickle juice. Okay, what do I mean by that? I mean that your internal beliefs and who you become is going to be a manifestation, right? The inside will be a manifestation of the outside. So, and it works both ways, but if you brine yourself in the right brine, you'll become the right kind of pickle. You see what I'm saying? So, what is the right kind of brine? The right kind of brine is reading good self-help books that are positive, right? It's finding and where those flaws you had, it's finding the kind of content and soaking yourself, absorbing yourself into that content. So all of this input that's coming into you is going to pickle you in the right way, right? To keep on using that analogy, right? And so you want to surround yourself with positive people, with good people, with people who have the attributes which you feel like you lack that you want to develop. You want to read those kind of books. You want to watch those kind of movies if you watch movies. Maybe read more books, okay? Or watch YouTube channels, like watch my channel here, right? I give you a lot of the stuff that you're looking for here, but not just my channel, right? Maybe you want to go over to RSD Max's channel. Maybe you want to go, you know what I'm saying? Like to develop these skills, to brine yourself in this environment. The more that you do that and the more that you absorb yourself in the environment, you will start to take on those attributes and those beliefs, right? That's just how things work, okay? So get yourself out of the negative. Get yourself out of, the more that you're thinking about how your situation sucks and how you suck and how everything is going to shit and your life is shit and you're never going to get ahead, the more that's going to become true and that's going to become reality, that's not helping you, okay? It's good to be objective and to make that list, but then you start taking action, you start working on it. You can improve your situation. I mean, think about it, right? No matter what, you're here right now, okay? All right, you're right here. Okay? If you took that list, right? And here could be really low on the totem pole, that's fine. But if you took that list and you said, what is the 20% of things that I could work on, right? That would produce the 80% of the effects or the results, okay? Then maybe if you started working on them in a week, you could be here, right? And if you keep on working on them in a week, you'll be here, right? If you keep on working on the bad stuff, will you not progress? Will you not eventually make it here? Even if it's just a slow fucking crawl, even if it's just like, I just barely made a step forward, you still made a step forward, right? That's the thing. And if you keep making steps forward, right? It's like that whole, if you had a beggar on the street and you gave him $1, is he rich yet? No, he's only got $1. If you give him another $1, what point does he become a millionaire? Or when he has $1 million, but what point does he become rich? I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know, but if you keep on giving him dollars, eventually he'll become rich, right? So it's the same thing. It's like, at what point do you go from beta guy to alpha dominant fucking superhero studly dude, right? I don't know, right? But if you keep on making steps forward in that direction, you'll eventually get there, right? You'll eventually objectively get there. So that's all you got to think about is that, like, and you have that. Who doesn't have the capability? I mean, who doesn't have the capability to at least make a 1% improvement in some area of their life? Who doesn't have the capability to at least make one step forward? Okay? Now, you want your steps to be effective, so you got to work on the right things. That's why I said make the list and be very objective about the list, and then pick that top 20% and then make steps forward. And all you have to focus on every day is making the step forward. This is the trusting the process, right? This is why I say trust the process. I've got a whole playlist on trusting the process. And this is why I say to trust the process, is because this is a process that cannot possibly fail. If you have the right destination, you know what you want to be. You want to be this alpha awesome guy. Okay. Now you might be doing it for the wrong reasons, to seek validation and all that, but fine. It doesn't matter. You can still get there. You can still get to your ideal image. Whether that will fulfill you or not, that's a different question. Well, we could talk about that at a different time. But if you have that image, okay, and you know where you are, right? If you got a map and you know where you are on the map and you know where you want to go, all you got to do is take steps in that direction and you will get there. Anyone can do it. And that's a process that can't fail. If you trust that process, the results will come. It's going to happen. There's no way that that's not going to happen. You see what I'm saying? So you got to trust the process. You got to stop worrying about the results. You got to stop worrying about where you are right now and how your life is so fucked up. And then you got to focus on, what is that 20%? Where do I want to go? How do I take steps towards that every day? And I don't give a shit how long it takes. I'm on an eternal progression to get there. Okay? And that should be all of us. That should be all of us in our lives, is that we've got something. You always got to project the image of who you want to become in the future. And you always got to be stepping towards that. Right? If you stop doing that, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like a loser. Right? But if you keep on doing that, all of a sudden, you'll get there, and you have to project forward another 10 years, another better image of yourself, and you'll just keep on getting better. And pretty soon, you'll go back and you look at your life. Like, I can look at my life and I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that I'm the guy that I am today. I cannot believe. I mean, my 10 year ago self would have been like, no fucking way. No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. But here I am, right? And now I got to find that other 10 year, where am I going to be in 10 years from now? But you get there. You just have to go. All right. I hope you found that useful. If you did, make sure, well, a couple of things here. One, share this with someone who could use this. I know you guys know someone who could use this. Hopefully you can use it yourself, but if you know someone who can use it, fucking share it. All right. Let's reach more people. Let's grow the channel. All right. And part of that, if you found this video useful, if you're just sitting here like, oh fuck, this is useful. Yeah. Well, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.